So when I heard that Furiosa was being made, I was really conflicted because I love Mad Max Fury Road. I think it's a perfect movie. I love the character of Furiosa. I love the way that she was portrayed by Charlize Theron. And when I saw Mad Max Fury Road in theaters on opening day, something happened to me that has never happened before, and it has never happened since. My body elicited an audible noise that I've never had happen while watching a movie. So it's the final scene of the movie. I'm not going to spoil it, but if you've seen Fury Road, you know the scene I'm talking about, the very last scene of the movie. And I just sort of went like, it was just like, it was involuntary. I wasn't making this noise voluntarily. It just sprang forth from me because I was so overwhelmed with what I was seeing on the screen. It's such a powerful film. I think Fury Road is perfect. I think it's a masterpiece. So the idea of Furiosa, I'm like, well, wait a minute. We already have that story. We have the complete character arc of Furiosa and all those other characters too. Morton Joe and his sons. And I mean, there's so much that movie, like we didn't have a lot before that, but it tells the story so well. There's no holes there. There's no gap. So I was really trepidatious about Furiosa because I'm like, well, it at best, it's going to remind me of Fury Road, and at worst, it's just going to be a brainless sequel. It's a prequel, but a brainless franchise film, right? In an era where the tentpole films and these blockbuster movies are crushing everything else, Hollywood doesn't even know how to make anything that's not based on something already in existence. But it's George Miller, right? And so I was like, well, George Miller has earned some trust here because of what he's been able to accomplish. And he's so rooted in like real stunts and crazy, crazy visuals. So I had also heard great things from people like Edgar Wright, who now he loves Anya Taylor-Joy because he cast her in Last Night in Soho, but he also is friends with George Miller. I'm like, well, he loves movies. He knows what's good, right? Well, I'm sad to say I did not love Furiosa. I don't really feel much of anything about Furiosa. It just reminds me of Fury Road, but less focused, with less story, and too long and too indulgent. I think that maybe Furiosa is the worst lesson about the success of a thing. Listen, there's lots of car stuff. Everything we loved about Fury Road is here, including a lot of those characters. But there's less purpose to it. There's less, pardon the term, I'm not trying to make a pun, there's less drive for it. It's a movie about vengeance. Fury Road was about vengeance. I mean, that's her story. The story of Furiosa is told in Fury Road. But what if we could see how it all begins? It reminds me of George Lucas, right? When he's like, well, we're gonna show you Anakin. He's gonna be a little boy, and you're gonna think he's really cute. And then we're gonna show you like Yoda knew Chewbacca before they met, after the Clone Wars. I don't need this. The story's told. You did it right the first time. I don't need... So, listen, it's got crazy visuals. It's a visually impressive movie. There's tons of stunts. I will say this. There's so much CGI, so much visual effect. I don't know that there's a single shot in this movie that is not touched by a visual effect. Every single thing feels artificial to me. It's so CGI, it feels fake to me. And I was watching it in the theater. I'm like, I don't remember Fury Road resonating with me as feeling fake, like I'm watching a video game. Certainly it had visual effects, but I don't remember it looking like this. And lo and behold, there are clips of Fury Road in this movie, and it doesn't look like that. Obviously, there's visual effects. It doesn't look like a video game. So this is a George Miller we've never had before. This is George Miller with untold millions of dollars to play with, and apparently nobody going like, well, let's pull that back a little bit. This feels untethered, unchained. It feels really self-indulgent, if I'm being honest. I hate to say this. I hate this because I love what George Miller has done with... You go back to Mad Max, Road Warrior, these, where he came from, they felt so real because they were real. Now it feels so artificial to me. And it's a story that I don't care about because I've already seen the story. I know how it ends. I know where it goes. And I know the fates of all these characters. Chris Hemsworth is He's in this movie, and he's got a fake nose, and he's doing this larger than, I mean, he's playing a cartoon character, really. He's like, all right, guys, go on. We're going to go get this girl. We're going to bring her back here. It's so cartoony. It's so big. It is so large. It goes into camp. It has to be a deliberate choice because that's what George Miller does. He pushes things to the limit. He pushes it to the edge, and then he pushes it over the edge. And he records it. He films it while it's going over the edge. He's like, well, you've never seen that before, have you? No, I never have. But I have seen Fury Road before. And there's so much retread in Furiosa. Anya Taylor-Joy is great. I love her. I love the Northman is fantastic. Everything she's in, she's fantastic. It's essentially a silent role. So there's a lot of like body language and just like stern facial expressions, just a lot of scowling. I don't know how much she could have done with it, but at the end of the day, I want to like movies. I go into every movie wanting to like it, and I have come to the conclusion, seeing this on opening day, the still opening. I'm recording this right after I've gotten home from the theater. I just don't feel much of anything. But we got to be honest. And your first instinct is usually right. Trust your first instinct. If you guys head out to the theater to see this, or hey, these videos last forever. So if it's 2062 and you have just seen Furiosa, let's continue the conversation in the comments below, and we can talk about what you think about it. We can talk about what worked for you and what didn't work for you. You know, it's a tough world right now because if if this movie makes a lot of money, well, we're going to get more of the continuing story of Furiosa or whatever. Maybe he'll split off and do another side character. If it doesn't work, people are going to say, oh, it's because there was a female in the lead. Nobody wants that. I love the Furiosa character. That's not my problem with the movie. The problem with the movie is I already have this movie. It's called Fury Road. Weigh in the comments below. I would love to know what your favorite Mad Max. You know what? We can do Mad Max, but what's your favorite George Miller movie? Because we're really talking about a creator. We're talking about an artist. And let's face it, there's a lot of movies that have chased George Miller, and especially that Fury Road style. None have been able to touch it. Nobody can do what he does. So I'm going to say he's an auteur. So what's your favorite George Miller movie? Let's continue the conversation in the comments below. Remember to subscribe, to like this video, and keep that conversation going. Guys, until next time, good day, and I'll catch you later.